There's one thing standing between you and the life you want: excuses. In this powerful and deeply reflective talk, a wise man shares life-changing lessons about self-discipline, responsibility, and what it truly means to live without excuses. Packed with real-life stories, timeless wisdom, and practical insight, this video will inspire you to stop waiting, stop blaming, and start moving. If you're ready to stop making excuses and take ownership of your life, this is the message you need. Like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly wisdom. Share this with someone who needs a gentle wake-up call today. Let me tell you something that may sting a little, but it just might save your life. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They don't show up as thieves in the night. They come dressed as comfort, as fear, as "I'm not ready yet," and they rob you of your time, your energy, your potential, without you even realizing it. I wasn't always the man you see before you. I used to be full of reasons. Why I couldn't, why it wasn't the right time, why life had been unfair. But life was so, it doesn't care about your reasons, it responds to your actions. There was a time in my life when I stood in front of the mirror and I didn't recognize the person staring back. I had 100 dreams, and not one was becoming real. And I'll never forget what my mentor told me that day. He looked at me and said, "You're not tired, you're uninspired, you're not stuck, you're scared, and you're not unlucky. You're undisciplined." That was the day I realized. My excuses were nothing more than well-crafted lies I told myself to avoid discomfort. You say you're too tired? Wake up earlier. You say you don't have time? Audit your day. You'll find hours lost to scrolling and worrying. You say you're not talented enough? Talent helps, but consistency wins. You say you're waiting for the right moment? Newsflash, there is no perfect time. The right moment is the moment you stop giving yourself a way out. You know what separates the successful from the stagnant? It's not luck. It's not education. It's not even intelligence. It's the refusal to make excuses. Day after day, they show up, tired, scared, uncertain, but they show up anyway because they've learned something most people never understand. Discipline is freedom. Responsibility is power. And ownership is peace. Look around. Every extraordinary person you admire has one thing in common. They've overcome something they never thought they could, but they didn't do it with comfort. They did it with commitment. You won't always feel like it. Motivation comes and goes, but your habits, your choices, and your mindset, those are yours to control. Excuses whisper, "Take it easy." Growth says, "Do it anyway." Let me ask you, what if you stopped explaining why you can't and just tried? What if you traded excuses for effort? What if you believed that your life could look different in a year if you showed up every single day, no matter what? I've lived long enough to tell you this with certainty. Your results will never exceed your standards. And as long as your standards allow for excuses, your life will reflect that. People will understand your excuses. They may even agree with them. But life doesn't negotiate, it responds to effort. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Don't seek permission. Claim responsibility. And don't fear failure. Fear regret. You're capable of so much more than you're living, not because you lack ability, but because you've been telling yourself a story that keeps you small. So today, right now, change the story. Say this with me: I am done making excuses. I will act in spite of fear. I will build the life I deserve. One choice, one step, one day at a time. And when that voice creeps in again, whispering doubt, tempting you with comfort, remind yourself who you are becoming: a person of strength, of integrity, of purpose. No more delays, no more blame, no more excuses. You owe it to yourself, to the life that's waiting on the other side of your discipline. Start now and remember, you are not behind. You're just getting started. Let me take you back to a conversation I once had with an old friend. He had big dreams when we were young, wanted to start his own business, help people, leave a legacy, but every time I saw him, there was a new reason why now wasn't the right time. First, it was because of student loans. Then it was the economy. Then he got married, had kids, and said he'd do it after things settled. But life doesn't settle. Life keeps moving. And if you're not careful, it moves without you. Last time I saw him, he said with a heavy sigh, "I just didn't think it would go by so fast." That moment stuck with me because I realized that excuses age well. They grow with you, they evolve, but they still keep you in the same place, stuck. Time is the most precious thing you have, and yet it's the one thing you can't make more of. You'll never be younger than you are right now. You'll never get this exact moment again. So why spend it defending limitations instead of breaking through them? Here's what I've learned on this long journey. You can either be full of reasons or results, but you cannot have both. The day I stopped saying I'm too late and started saying I'm just getting started was the day my life began to change. I didn't know all the answers. I didn't feel confident every day, but I committed. And here's the magic of commitment. When you decide, really decide to move forward, life begins to meet you halfway. Opportunities open, people appear, energy returns, because you're no longer scattered, you're focused. And yes, it's hard. Of course it is. Discipline is hard. Waking up early is hard. Saying no to distractions is hard. But you know what's harder? Waking up 10 years from now with the same unfulfilled potential. Looking in the mirror and realizing you traded progress for excuses. Now I want you to breathe for a moment, really breathe, and ask yourself, what excuse have I been holding on to? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the story that you're too old or too inexperienced or too broken. But let me tell you, you're not too anything. You are exactly who you need to be to take the next step. You don't need to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to take one step. Excuses tell you to wait. Wisdom says, begin where you are with what you have. Here's a simple truth I want you to write down and carry with you. Action cures fear. Movement builds confidence. Discipline unlocks freedom. So stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is fleeting, but momentum, that's something you can build. Wake up tomorrow with intention, not scrolling, not reacting, but choosing. Who am I becoming today? That one question changed my life. And don't do it just for you. Your courage will light the path for others. Your discipline will inspire someone you'll never even meet. Your no excuses mindset becomes a legacy. So, let this be your turning point. Don't waste another sunrise. Don't wait for permission. Don't ask the world to believe in you while you doubt yourself. Show up, speak life into your vision, and when doubt knocks, answer with action. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. No more distractions, no more stories, no more excuses. This is your time, and the world is waiting to meet the real you. If this message stirred something in your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below, I'm done making excuses. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss your weekly wisdom. And share this with someone who needs to hear that they still have time if they start today.